Now, one of the most important topics that we sometimes just miss off, those tiny little powerhouses, the mitochondria, which is the mitochondria, nahi, wo mighty nahi hai. But yeah, but it's surprising. It's the mighty powerhouse of our body and every little cell. And we need to learn to optimize it if we want to decode our longevity. Now, I want all of you to really, really be very focused. I know there are between your lunch, your lunch is sandwiched between two important sessions. One is to increase your energy so that you are energized to run and get your lunch. Okay. The next thing is when you come back, I want you to be sharp back at 1:55. 5 minutes before, yeah, definitely. I want you to sit down. I know you'll be sweating, you'll be panting. So, yeah, no doubt about it. Why? Because you are going to learn the secret of your longevity. We'll be teaching you how to make the longevity stack. Okay, all these complicated things will become meaningful to you. You will understand what to ask at the exhibit. You might go to the exhibit and see multiple different supplements and get confused. Okay, ye kya hai, wo kya hai, and how to compare and what to see. So you will be learning about this. And I don't want you to miss it. Okay, I really don't want you to miss it. That's going to be pretty much life changing. It can definitely make a difference to how you would go back from this session. Okay. Is that exciting? Great, great. So I'm going to see you, but I definitely want to get you energized, and everyone can see the mighty mitochondria is the next session. And to give this information is an expert who herself is very passionate about metabolic health of the cell. Now, she deals with her patients explaining how energy can signify so many different things, the way the patient has been responding, how things have been going on. She definitely observes all of that and ensures that her patients, her clients, get the right information on how to optimize energies and, of course, understand this little term called mitochondria, which is pretty mighty. And without any further ado, I would like to welcome on stage Dr. Ruhi Agarwala, who is one of the pioneers of the functional medicine family, a functional medicine clinician who definitely loves to work on cellular energy. She's very practical about her protocols, and of course, she's going to recharge you. I'm going to leave you with the most important thing to do, Dr. Ruhi. You have to energize the audience with the mitochondria. So I believe the changer is not working. We'll have to switch. Thank you very much. A huge energy come ho gayi, sach mein.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, very good afternoon, everyone. Hope I'm audible clearly. Great. All right. So, in the longevity conference, if we are not talking about mitochondria, what else we will talk about? So, a very fascinating organelle. And today, with the whole buzz around longevity, we see supplements talking about various pathways, mitochondrial pathways. We talk about training regimens to activate your mitochondria, diet for mitochondria. So we'll talk about all of that today and also understand what's really going on in mitochondria and how to do that phase-wise. So we know these tiny organelles which are highly concentrated in certain part of the body, especially the brain, the heart, the muscles. They not just make ATP, but they are and this ATP then kind of drives so many biochemical processes in our body. And if this mitochondrial function falters, a lot of these processes will falter. Hence, we have to take very extra care of our mitochondrial health if we have to age finely, if we have to extend our health span, lifespan, you name it, we have to have focused mitochondrial health strategy in place. Well, we have this 12 hallmarks of aging, where one of the most important one is mitochondrial dysfunction. Now, as we age, the mitochondrial health declines. So the efficiency of the mitochondria declines, the number of mitochondria declines. But today, if you see, there are patients coming at the age of 30, 35, where they already feel very fatigued. They already have signs of aging. So, what is going so wrong today in today's world that people are aging so fast? So, we'll talk more about that. Well, if you see the icon here, the fatigued mitochondria, this is exactly how an individual feels when the mitochondrial health has gone for a toss. And the earliest signs of mitochondrial dysfunction is, of course, a person feels tired all the time and is not able to figure out, I am doing all well, but I'm still feeling so fatigued. Brain fog, cognitive decline, not able to tolerate stress, muscles are becoming weak, and a lot more. Graying of hair and loss of vitality. And then over a period of time, when these are not addressed, comes in all kind of chronic diseases, various autoimmune condition, metabolic disorders, neurodegenerative changes. So, well, the list is very long, but this is just to give you an idea that most chronic conditions are linked to mitochondrial dysfunction. And we should evaluate for mitochondrial health and then work stepwise to improve this mitochondrial health. If you listen to your parents or grandparents, you would not have probably seen their energy go down even when they were 60, right? But today, at the age of 35, 40, most of them already start losing their energy. So, what has changed now, right? When the body is so stressed, when the body is inflamed, the diet is nutrient deficient, and it's loaded with calories and sugar. The body is loaded with toxins, infections. Well, the mitochondrial health will decline, no doubt. And again, today, the number of non-native EMF that the body is exposed to, the radio waves, the toxins in the environment, all of these are just, super recipes to degrade the mitochondrial health. And then there are various drugs, especially one of them statins, which deprive the mitochondria of its cofactors such as CoQ10. And the mitochondria is very sensitive to toxins. So, and yeah, we cannot agree more that constantly the amount of toxin that the body is exposed to has definitely gone very, very high. So all of this just is declining our mitochondrial health. Well, this is what we live in today. There are so much of non-native EMF exposure, so much of electronic gadgets inside and outside the house. So you can imagine the damage done to the body, especially the mitochondria. Now, this session is also a humble attempt to just simplify a few things which come in when we are talking about mitochondrial health. So there are three phases of mitochondrial rejuvenation. The first is mitophagy. This is basically identifying dysfunctional mitochondria and removing them. What are dysfunctional mitochondria? The ones that's producing a lot of reactive oxidative species. So they have to be identified and cleaned up. You cannot charge an engine which is dirty. So the same with mitochondria. It's the engine of our cells, and we need clean engine for the body to be running well. So mitophagy is very, very important. The dysfunctional mitochondria has to be constantly removed from the system. The next phase is mitochondrial biogenesis, which is basically production of which biogenesis is basically production of more mitochondria. So here the DNA replication gets activated, the enzyme synthesis happens so that there is good number of mitochondria in the cells. And then comes the optimization of the existing mitochondria. Now here the whole focus has to be on fueling whatever mitochondria you have, giving them enough nutrients, so enough oxygen, enough cofactors. You ensure the mitochondrial membrane integrity is intact. So whatever cofactors are needed, whatever vitamin, minerals, healthy fats, protein, all of that you provide them so that your existing mitochondria are healthy. So just like Dr. Musa mentioned, you made when we are talking about methylation, if you're just giving folic acid, you are, not even letting the existing one work. So here, if you are not optimizing the health of your existing mitochondria, the new ones, it will be difficult to make them and sustain them. So clean up whatever is bad and then make the new one. Now, okay, so a lot of pathways in mitochondrial health, AMPK, sirtuin 1, blah, 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 blah. You'll see supplements targeting different pathways. Well, here are 5 key pathways that you should remember. And what do they do? So the first one is the AMPK pathway. This pathway is the master energy sensor. It gets activated the moment it sees low energy. So it will get activated. It will cause mitophagy to happen. So the bad mitochondria will be removed from the system and new mitochondria biogenesis will start happening. And there are various ways to activate this pathway. Exercises does, specific exercises does. We will talk about it later. Fasting helps. Various molecules such as metformin, berberine, green tea extract, all of these activate the AMPK pathway. So that does mitophagy and biogenesis. The next is the sirtuin 1 pathway. Now this is an NAD dependent pathway and it will help in the mitochondrial gene activation, which in turn will activate the PGC1 alpha pathway and cause biogenesis. So here, when you give some stress to the body, right, like calorie restriction, you can also activate it by resveratrol, NAD boosters, because it's an NAD dependent pathway. That will help in activating sirtuin 1 and eventually biogenesis. Well, mTOR has become very popular, right? The pathway that is inhibited by rapamycin. Now, to optimize mitochondrial health, this pathway has to be inhibited because when it's activated, it causes cell proliferation. But what we want it to do is we want to inhibit it and cause autophagy to happen, which will help the cleanup to happen. And this can be inhibited by fasting, rapamycin, yes, calorie restriction, AMPK. But again, when it comes to using this as a strategy, it can also have other effects because it is inhibiting when you inhibit mTOR, you're also inhibiting cell proliferation. It will also inhibit certain metabolic pathway. So it has to be very carefully chosen. Well, the next pathway is the primary driver of mitochondrial biogenesis, and this is PGC1 alpha. Now, when we want to make mitochondria, we want to activate this pathway. And all the other AMPK, sirtuin 1, they activate this pathway. You give cold exposure, which is mitohormesis for the body, it will activate PGC1 alpha. Now, how do the dysfunctional mitochondria get identified, right? Now, this is a very nice, carefully designed pathway in the body, which is taken care by PINK1 Parkin pathway. Now, when a mitochondria is producing a lot of reactive oxidative species, so the mitochondrial membrane potential comes down, and then that makes the accumulation of PINK1 molecules on the pathway, which then activates the Parkin. So this then tags that mitochondria as a dysfunctional mitochondria, which has to be removed from the system. So these 5 pathways, if you remember, you will understand what is going on in a mitochondrial rejuvenation process in the body. And then, of course, inside the mitochondria, you have the electronic transport chain through which the electron transfer happens, and then the ATP molecule is made. And for this, you need to have all the cofactors in place: CoQ10, carnitine, B vitamins, magnesium, etc., etc. And while the ATP is made, there is a lot of ROS being released. So this has to be constantly removed. And this is where the antioxidant support is required. So you need glutathione, SOD, alpha-lipoic acid, NAC, etc. So this is in a nutshell what is happening inside the mitochondria. Now, quickly on the test, we will have a detailed session later about the test for metabolomics. But now, what I use in my practice is an organic acid test, and we do a test called the NutriFit test, which is an organic acid test done in India. It also gives us information about the mitochondrial health, right? So we get to know about the cofactors, carnitine, CoQ10, the B vitamins, magnesium, etc., lipoic acid. So you can know their status, whether they're enough or not. And then you can also see the elevated levels of lactate or pyruvate. And accordingly, that helps you to determine whether the whether the mitochondrial processes are going well or not. And yes, then of course, there are a few oxidative stress markers like 8-OHDG. For genetic SNPs, one can go for a genetic test. So there are a whole lot of tests, but then few are available in India, while for some the samples have to be sent to the US. But a good start is, of course, a detailed blood work, clinical symptoms, and a NutriFit test. Okay, so now let's get started with how to improve the mitochondrial health. So always start with the basics. The diet is something that you cannot compromise with. You can add all advanced things later, but then if the diet is not fixed, it's like, just coming back to square one again and again. So we have to cut off all processed food, all trans fats and sugar. It's a complete no for the body. The diet has to be a rainbow diet with a lot of polyphenols and phytochemicals. So a lot of colorful veggies, fruits, etc. Include berries, include pomegranate, nuts, mushroom, etc. Healthy fats is very, very important. MCT, avocados, bologna ghee, virgin coconut oil are mitochondrial. The mitochondrial membrane is made of fat. It also needs protein as a membrane structure. So clean protein is very important. And again, protein which the body can utilize. So you may be dumping your body with a lot of animal protein or let's say pulses, beans and all. But if your gut health is not good, all of them is probably not doing any good to the body. So if the gut health is not so good, go for a hydrolyzed protein which the body can easily assimilate. Support the gut mitochondria axis because mitochondria, it's ancient bacteria in our body. So if we want to make our mitochondria thrive, you have to work on the gut health. So provide enough fiber, provide enough fermented food. When I say fermented food, it should always be done with caution. If the gut health is not good, please do the cleanup first. Use probiotics, and when the cleanup is done, then introduce raw fermented food. Stay hydrated with structured water, very, very important. And it's important that you follow circadian rhythm for eating, right? We eat as the sun comes up and we stop eating as the sun goes down. That's very, very important. This is one recipe that we use in our practice for mitochondrial health. Now, basically, this has a hydrolyzed plant protein. What we use is assimilate protein that we have in FM nutrition. Handful of berries. If you don't get fresh berries, you can use frozen berries. They're rich in polyphenols. 1 scoop of colostrum gut revive. So this is good for your gut repair. It also has zinc carnosine, which is a peptide for gut healing. We add a scoop of optifiber, the food for the microbiome, MCT oil, flaxseed oil, and a dropper full of mixed tocopherols. And then you can always top up with avocados, or anything else, lion's mane, mushroom, whatever you want based on what the body needs. But this can be a good basic foundation for the day to start with. Hydration, when it comes to a diet, we cannot miss on hydration. It's not just about 2.5 liters of water every day. It has to be water which can do cellular hydration. So what we use in our practice is structured water, which is basically keeping water in the sun in a glass bottle for at least 3 hours. It helps in structuring the water, and that structured water does cellular hydration. It is similar to the water that is found in healthy tissues. It enhances the enzyme activity for mitochondrial health. And then this structured water, add some Celtic salt to it. That will help, that will replenish the body with the minerals and help in deeper hydration. All right, exercises now. Mitochondria loves movement, okay? And then there are different kinds of movement that can be done to enhance different phases of the mitochondrial rejuvenation process. So when we want to do the cleanup, do high intensive interval training. This will activate the AMPK, pink 1 Parkin pathway. And if you combine it with fasting, it will do deep level of cellular detox. So a lot of cleanup will happen. You can add some zone 2 training to this as well. When we want to build more mitochondria, build more muscles. And for this, you can go for strength training. And then combine it with some endurance training. So all these will activate the PGC1 alpha pathway. Doing cold exposure after the workouts will give additional stress to the body, and that will help in a better activation of the PGC1 alpha pathway. On a daily basis, to just keep the mitochondrial health great, supportive, do constant movement. Don't have a sedentary lifestyle. Be moving. You can include yoga, different mobility exercises. Also very important is when you're walking, when you're jogging, focus on your breath so that you're not gasping for breath, but you are breathing very consciously. That will optimize oxygen delivery to the mitochondria. So this is a recommendation that can be given to the clients. You have 2 to 3 versions of HIIT plus 2 to 4 sessions of cardio, with at least 2 sessions of strength training with daily low intensity movement. Again, sleep is something that cannot be compromised. You will see individuals who don't sleep well, they age faster. Sleep is the time when your body repairs. Your mitochondria also repairs, the autophagy happens. So target 7 to 9 hours of sleep.
10 minutes to go.
Follow the circadian rhythm. Someone who is doing a night shift and sleeps during the day, well, the circadian rhythm has gone for a toss. So ideally, avoid a night shift and follow the circadian rhythm for sleep. Avoid blue light exposure at least 2 hours before sleep. When you wake up in the morning, the first exposure should be to light because that will activate the biological clock. Darkness is important before sleep so that, melatonin works. And if you need help there, you can use melatonin or magnesium, etc. Just like, how a drained battery gets charged once we connect it to an adapter, we start charging it. So is mitochondrial health, right? Sun activates mitochondria. it's like the food for mitochondria. And sunlight provides the entire spectrum of light. So, and for ATP production, we need red and near infrared. So follow again the circadian rhythm, and the best way to get yourself sun is, in the morning get at least 30 to 60 minutes of sun, because that will give you, the blue light, red light, near infrared. And then during the midday, get at least 10 to 15 minutes of daylight, of afternoon sun. That will help in vitamin D synthesis. And the best ways during the day, avoid artificial light. Do not turn on the lights in the house. Usually have enough natural light coming through the windows. And at night, use minimal light. Ultraviolet B. Now, in addition to sunlight, you can also complement it with photobiomodulation therapy, which is basically exposure to red near infrared light. So these wavelengths between 620 to 750 and 750 to 1100, when you expose your body to these wavelengths of light, it get absorbed by the cytochrome C oxidase, and they help in ATP production. So there are panels available. Most of them were, not available in India. So we made a red light panel in Quantum Heal, and this is able to provide wavelengths in the red and near infrared wavelengths. So a daily session of this, at least 10 minutes. You can always increase it. You can take it daily, and it's best to take it in the morning and the afternoon. And you will really see how it helps you calm down the inflammation. Your skin will improve. Your mitochondrial health will improve. The level of energies. It does wonders. I spoke about this. This is again very important. Our mitochondria does not love blue light. It does not love non-native EMF. So do everything to protect your body from that, right? Turn off the Wi-Fi when you're sleeping so that the body can go into repair without any interference. Use EMF shielding cases, etc. Use blue light blockers if you're using glasses. Use apps like Flux so that you can decrease your exposure to blue light. Grounding is a wonderful way to lose the excess positive charge that you accumulate, and that will enable the transfer of electrons. So yes, walking barefoot on the lawn. If you have a beach in your city, nothing better than that. Go to the beach and walk barefoot. If you have a stream, let the water flow through your feet. All of these will have wonderful effects on your body to, activate good mitochondrial health. Tree hugging, again, a wonderful way.
5 minutes to go.
Most of the shoes we have today, they are plastic bases, so they're non-conductor. So it's a good idea to go to old style juti, or use like these conduction strips, which will help you in grounding. Leather base, yes. And then few other methods of inducing mitohormesis, which is, some levels of stress to the body, is fasting, calorie restriction. Cold thermogenesis, a wonderful way. Go for cold showers. Releases endorphins, releases anti-inflammatory chemicals. You can start with short intervals of showers and then increase the duration. Be mindful of the water waste there, though. Protect yourself from toxins. We drink clean water, but then also important to take care of the toxins from the water we are bathing. So install filters, use a purifier for air, use organic food, discard plastics. Home care, personal care products should be clean. Take care of the mold, and yes, heavy metals. Ditch all the aluminium, non-stick, all those from the kitchen. Improve the detoxification pathways. Now, coming to supplements, urolithin A is a postbiotic, and it activates the pink 1 Parkin pathway, which enhances autophagy. It's there in pomegranate, but then how much of pomegranate would you eat to get urolithin A? So a good urolithin A supplement would be a good thing to activate mitophagy. Resveratrol, green tea extract are others. For biogenesis, PQQ, NAD boosters, resveratrol are good supplements to add. And to optimize mitochondrial health, CoQ10, magnesium, carnitine, citrulline, lipoic acid, green tea extract, all of these are needed. So again, none of these should be used as the first thing. Go back to the basics first. This is action plan. Do it by layers. Clean, build, and fuel your mitochondria. Eat mitochondria-friendly foods. Move your body with intention. Sleep well. Make fasting, include fasting in your regime. Reduce your exposure to toxins. And then combine, if you have done the first 5-6 things, then add supplements along with diet and lifestyle, and you will see wonderful results. And then, of course, you can always personalize based on tests and other things, etc., etc. So we have got 2 products, and Mito 2 we just launched 2 days back, just ahead of the IFM longevity meet. So Mito 1 and Mito 2 both have different cofactors, which is essential for mitochondrial health. So with that, I hope you all can activate your mitochondrial health and also your clients' health. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a beautiful mitochondria. Before you leave, I have a couple of announcements to make. Thank you so much, Dr. Ruhi. That